This looks good. You don't need this little clip art over here. So let's take that out. Incredible dancer. I don't know if people are gonna believe you.
I see.
You sure you want to do that?
Yeah, set me up.
All right. The first time I saw the White House was in 1984. I just graduated from college. I was working as a community organizer out of the Harlem campus of the City Colleges in New York. You gotta have your elbow in a little bit. All right, release. Make sure it's on your fingertips.
Maybe I should shoot lefty.
You can try that.
I got one shot at this. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. That's science right there. I'm really proud of you, man. That's a wonderful volcano.
Thank you, man.
You don't need all the time in the world or all the answers to be the mentor someone needs. And you don't need to be an NBA star or the President of the United States to be someone's hero.
Support my brother's keeper.
Be a mentor.
Our thanks to President Obama. With the president's help, two-time NBA MVP Steph Curry, maybe his game will get better. In 2014, President Obama challenged all of us to step forward and open the doors of opportunity. And since the president created My Brother's Keeper, the concept has grown from a loud call to action to an active mentoring and inspiring movement that unites diverse partners with common goals. And with us today, our two esteemed guests. Joining us from D.C. is Blair Taylor. He's the CEO of My Brother's Keeper Alliance. Here in the studio, James Cole. He's the acting deputy secretary of the Department of Education. Nice to have you both with us. James, since you're right in front of me, I'm going to begin with you, if I may.
Sure.
Talk to me about your mentor, the one you remember the most.
Sure. The person I remember the most is Miss Schmidt. She was my 10th grade English teacher. I started Dunbar High School on the south side of Chicago on shaky ground. My mom passed away just before I started high school, and I was robbed at gunpoint a few weeks after that. So ninth grade was very shaky for me, and I was very fortunate to have Miss Schmidt as my 10th grade English teacher, and she was very involved. I think she learned about my story by requiring us to write journals. That was one of the things she had us do in 10th grade English. And she just played a very important role in my life. We didn't have a formal mentor relationship. She just stepped up and decided to do that. She all but demanded that I attend the University of Illinois, and I pushed back. I said my mother had passed away and my father was sick and I had to go home to take care of the family. And she said the most important thing you'll ever do to take care of your family is to go and get a college degree. And so as I continued to push back, she sent me down to the University of Illinois to visit with her son, John, who was a junior or senior at the time. And that's what really made it real for me. And so she played a key role in me becoming the first person in my family to graduate from college and continue to be involved in my life for many years after that.
That's a great story. Blair, why is mentoring really the cornerstone of My Brother's Keeper?
Well, Soledad, I think the important thing, if you zoom out here, if you can't see somebody else in the role that you want to be, if you can't actually see someone who's achieved some of the things that may be part of your dream, it's not only hard to actually bring that dream into reality, it's also even hard to imagine the dream. So having a mentor is really a way of creating a reality for somebody. It's the old, if you can see it, you can be it adage. And I think that if you talk to anyone who's successful, all of us had somebody, whether it was a parent, a guardian, a school teacher, somebody who came up alongside of us and helped us to be all that we could be and helped us to imagine what our future could be. And when you think about boys and men of color today, which is America's most vulnerable population, all too often they don't have enough of those mentors surrounding them to help them envision their future and then help to actualize the pathway to opportunity. And that's what My Brother's Keeper is all about.
You mentioned actualizing, and I think that you guys do the same thing for job placement as well, don't you?
That's correct. In fact, we are really working hard on getting young people, men of color in particular, into jobs for two reasons. One, that opens up a door of economic opportunity for those young people, and they become taxpayers, they become citizens who are invested in the United States, in our economy. But secondly, if you think about it, they also become mentors for others who see them now in those positions, their cousins, their nephews, their relatives, and then aspire to follow them into those roles. So we think getting young people, getting boys and men of color into jobs is a super important initiative, and we've got an incredible amount of support from corporate America to pursue exactly that end for our young boys and men of color.
James, chronic absenteeism is a huge problem. How is Success Mentors Initiative dealing with that?
That's a great question. We launched Success Mentors in the spring with 10 cities across the country, and the demand has been so great that we've now grown to 30 cities. What we do is identify students who are most likely at risk to not graduate from high school, and then we match them with mentors. And the program is based out of the school, so it's an evidence-based program. The mentors meet with the students at least 3 times a week to follow up with them. We know that you're chronically absent. If you miss just 2 days of school per month, you're chronically absent, and students that are chronically absent are far more likely not to graduate from high school. So we're really excited about the Success Mentors program.
Blair, you left corporate America. You could have done a million other things. Why did you pick My Brother's Keeper?
Because I think we are living through one of the most important times in the history of this country right now, Soledad. In the U.S. today, we have 5.5 million disengaged youth. They're known as opportunity youth, and those are young people aged 16 to 24 who are not working and not in school. I believe this is and by the way, most of those, the majority of those are young boys and men of color. I believe this is the most critical issue of our time. And so when I was asked to try to work with corporate America, work with nonprofits, work with philanthropy around helping to solve this crisis with the President of the United States, who is fundamentally committed to this issue, I couldn't have been more excited to get involved.
Well, Blair and James, really amazing what you're doing, and thanks for doing that. That's a big commitment and working with some really incredible people who need the support. So thanks, appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you
Soledad.
for adding to American Graduate Day with your passion and your voices.